arcane. The whirling turban of her silver hair that she undid every New Year's Eve for my sister Cynthia and me reached down to the floor at our Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. Me, 7, Sin, 5. And how Grandma Molly would blush as we took grabs of hair and went over and under each other like making a braid of the May Day tree she'd slowly spinning turn into. I never saw our babysitter so happy. Certainly not in the pissy staircase and roach-infested 6th-floor tenement flat on Longwood Avenue, where I arrived every Saturday for 7 years to listen to a language I barely understood and watch her, in a schmata of a house dress, reach into the old brownwood shift robe next to the table filled with silver stars, purple hearts, medals and insignias, a Nazi wristwatch, a Japanese machete, war trophies of her sons, a photo of President Roosevelt that she talked to, and yank out a bottle of schnapps by the neck, open it, throw back her head, and take a deep swig, wiping her mouth with the back of her hand and continuing talking to me, digging into drawers to find things with her brakavzai, O tongue of Vezmirs. Her Yiddish grated down into me and licked me with coarse, sweet abrasion like that of a cat's tongue. With her continuous lamenting, kvetching, her Vergehaget, schleppers, paskudniakers, her litany of curses sounding as if stolen from nature itself, and hardly a word did I understand until years later that she'd raised 9 children, but the one she loved most was the 10th, who'd been born after Grandpa Morris died, and she went to bed with the Puerto Rican butcher on Rivington Street, and in Shonda that he had knocked her up, her very own children kidnapped the child at birth from the hospital, took him to a foster home like a deposit bottle, got some cash for him, and called her Kurva and Tzitzikas. Meshugav Toit, gotten you, Reboina Shaloilim, may they gain in Dredarein her children. May their kids be born dwarves. May they and their wives and their children never find peace, not a day, not a minute, and may they die suddenly for having sold her babies, those Wanzen, schreckliche Sache. And she went to the room where there were nests of roaches and a stack of sepia Forwitz newspapers, showed me the back page, a photo of a young Puerto Rican killed in the Korean War on the ground, and with the back of her hand, she slapped the edge of the paper and said, he was the son her children had kidnapped years and years ago. Oi, oi, Hartsweitig, how my Bubba had been driven mad. And now, today, I've stepped on my own mouth, and it's bitten my toes and made me stumble and fall into the pit of blue conscience, where I first beheld the radiance of Molly Danemark, before I knew she was my very own grandmother, and felt her lift me up, up, up to her cheek, and felt her fingers scurry along my waist, hearing my scream of laughter as her voice kissed my belly, crying, Kitzel, Kitzel, loy, Shana.